everybody. My name is Spencer, and you were watching SBJ FPV. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about is the Trydent light frame by Kern Hobbies. Recently just built this guy up as an ultralight racer. Been seeing things out there like the Hyperfloss and the X-Hover Win 5 frame, things like that. And I was looking around at a bunch of those with each of them. I was like, some of them were a little bit too expensive for me. For what I'm looking for in an ultralight, if you will, disposable type racer, and then other things, for example, like the Floss. I just didn't like the fact that the stack was actually a part of the structure. So that's kind of my criteria, looking for something relatively inexpensive with easy to find, easy to replace arms, and a stack that is independent of the arms and the rest of the structure of the frame itself. So what you got here with the Trydent frame, if you're looking at the bottom here, you can see that it is in fact completely separate, and then each arm is held on by 2 bolts. So other than that, I mean, it's pretty bare bones. That's exactly what I was looking for. You can run a micro Swift on there like I've got going. The other thing that I really like about it is the fact that you just have all this space. So I know I've got it jam-packed full of stuff right here, but I have 3 capacitors on here. Yes, I'm aware, probably shouldn't need more than 1, but I just put it on there to be safe because I am running the Race Flight Bolt 4-in-1 ESC, which can be pretty sensitive if you're not running capacitors on there. So I had the extra capacitors laying around, so I threw it on there and it's working out well. As far as what I have on here specifically, I have on the PuroFlip, I believe they're called Ultralight 2307, 2522 Team Edition motors. I'm running the HQ 5x4.3x3 props. I've got a revolt on there. Like I said, I've got a Bolt 4-in-1. And then as far as my VTX is going, I've got the TBS Unify Pro Race. I believe it's the high voltage edition. And I'm running a whip antenna on that. So I've got it down pretty much as light as I could get it. And the performance kind of speaks for itself. You'll be able to see it. I do not claim to be the best pilot. I am not the best racer. My forte is a little bit more along the lines of freestyle. That's kind of where I got started. But I do enjoy racing, and I certainly enjoy the performance that this frame allows me to have, just because it is pretty much just the motors, the flight controller, the ESC, and the battery. And I mean, it's fast. So one other thing about it being ultra light as well, it's kind of nice, as you'll see right about now. That you can actually hit stuff and stay in the air relatively easily. You have a tendency more to bounce than to break something like you would with a heavier quad. So that's another advantage. One of the only real disadvantages that I have about the ultralight frames is that they fly a lot different. So if you're used to a heavier frame, just keep that in mind, that the performance you're going to get, as soon as you let off the throttle, it's going to slow down. So you got to get used to carrying the throttle through a lot more of your maneuvers. And as you see me going through the gravity gate, that's probably one of the toughest things for me. We had a little bit of wind blowing, but I'm also just not very experienced when it comes to gravity gates. But the rest of the track, I think it pretty much speaks for itself. This thing rips. And I estimated, so again, this is just, this isn't scientific here, but so I basically did a timed run of about 100 yards. And it was just under 2 seconds, which equates to just over 100 miles an hour. So even running 4.3 props, this thing will still rip, with the added benefit that it is still just as nimble. And I mean, you really can't ask for more than that. So once you get used to flying the lighter frame, I really think that you're on to a winning combo with something like this. So if you're interested in picking one of these up, it's available at kernhobbies.com. And it is for sale for $60, and then replacement arms are $3.50. So go ahead, go over there, grab one of these, try it out for yourself. I mean, it's only $60, so what you had to lose there. And yeah, so anyways, I'd like to give a big shout out to Stephen Hubble for designing this frame. Marie posted it in the Beer Bros and FPV Facebook group, and that's where I learned about it. And then I messaged him, and he was very happy to explain all the different features of the frame, send me some pictures of his builds, and yeah, I mean, I love it. So I plan on getting another one, doing another build very soon. Thank you for watching.